RCN, Word of God to the world.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? My name is Jerry Jones, and I am President and CEO of Mega International. And we're live talking to you in regards to grants and nonprofit. I want to give a shout out there to Monica McLagan. I want to be able to say hello to Malu Lou. I want to be able to work with all the people that are on my staff and the people that we work together with so diligently in order to bring this program about. I want to give first God thanks for all the things he's done in my life and helping me to be where I am and who I am. One of the things that I want to bring forward today is to talk about grants and a little bit about nonprofit. But we want to stress to a lot of the pastors, preachers, teachers, and educators out there, this is part 2 in a series of grants and nonprofits. So I wanted to make sure that we kind of address some other things that I hadn't addressed. For all of you that have a 501c3 and you've never gotten a grant, you need to check with the IRS or your Secretary of State to see if you're in good standard with your paperwork, because if your paperwork is not in good standard, you're not going to be able to get no grants. But I would check if I got a 501c3, even though it's revoked, because after 3 years, if you don't register, they'll come back and indicate to you that you've been revoked because you didn't file the 990, which is a short form card or a letter indicating how much money you got over the year, over the 3 years to do it. It used to be if you got less than $25,000 a year, you didn't have to file at all. But now they come up with a new program in 2007. Anybody that gets a nonprofit, every year you got to file and let them know how much funding did you get. And whether it's a short card, no more than a postcard, indicating that you got X, Y, Z amount of dollars. If you don't file those 990 within 3 years, you will be revoked. And when you become revoked, you have to start all over at the back of the line and go forward again. So I'm saying to you, a lot of these preachers, teachers, educators, child care developers, and other people that are out there, they have 501c3s. Or if you have a 501c3 and you don't know what the status it is, or you did it a long time ago, it still may be applicable to start over and not have to spend a lot more money to get it reinstated. We can reinstate all 501c3s, or we can take the ones that have been revoked and rejuvenate them back into getting them back in status. One of the things that I will say to you is that you need to check and make sure that you're in good standard before you start looking for grants, and somebody wants to give you a grant and then you find right at the last minute you don't have it. So I'm saying to a lot of pastors, churches, preachers, teachers, look and see what is your status of your 501c3. Now, if you got a 501c3 and you haven't gotten a grant, now is a good time for you to talk to somebody like myself or other people that are in the business of writing you grants so that you can get a chance to get some funding for your organization, whether it be monetary or non-monetary. You want to go after what's available for your particular application. Now, a lot of people are doing shelter programs, and they're doing transitional housing. Some of them doing agape drug programs, and there are numbers of other programs that they're doing in terms of food programs. And all these programs are available for you to be helped, but nobody can help you if you don't get somebody to write it properly. And the need statements, the goals, the methodology, the budget justification, the narrative, the appendix, all that information is necessary, and any collaboration letters that you have to add to the appendix of your grant will be very much appreciative, because those letters that you add to the appendix only supports that grant to make it stronger, so that the people that are giving you money will be able to look and see that other people like what you're doing and they're supporting you in your community for what you're doing. And that's being able to have it on their letterhead and being able to get information from your senator or your congressperson or your alderman, that they can give you a letter indicating the work that you're doing in the community that helps that grant that you're going to do look a lot better. Also, pictures are pretty mandatory, and let them see what you're doing and who you're helping, what type of people are you helping. Let that be added to the appendix so that they'll be able to see what you're doing with your organization. Another thing is that you want to be able to have a copy of your 501c3, your top page of your 501c3, so they can see your tax exempt status from the IRS. You add that to the appendix as well. And in your articles, you can add that so that they don't have to doubt. You want your DUNS number. You also want the IRS information to be right there so they don't have to look for it and they know that they can get a tax write-off. And the more information you give them on that grant, the faster you're going to wind up getting some money. So one of the things I would say, you can talk to the different people and always ask. One of the things I found that if you ask for the people who's in charge, and you can use two terminologies. You could say, who's in charge of your corporate giving? Who's in charge of your corporate giving for any corporation, funding foundation, or private individual? Or you can say, who's in charge of your fundraising program? And that's just another terminology, but they still mean the same. So just ask who's in charge of your philanthropy, or who's in charge of your corporate givings, or who's in charge of your fundraising program. You can use any one of those three terminologies. But the point of it is you want to find out who is the person that you're going to need to talk to and who's giving out the money. Now you got people like Walgreens, Walmart, you got people like Target, Best Buy, AutoZone. The average amount of money that they give out per year is $60 and $40 million. $60 and $40 million. And you got people like the railroad, you got people like Timken Bearing, you got Chrysler Corporation, you got tons of folks that's giving out that money. And Walmart is number 2 in terms of the monies that they give out. But the problem of it is they're all giving funds out and you're not getting them. Now the reason that you're not getting them is because you don't know where to apply for them. One of the things you want to be able to do, there's different programs out there, and the one we used to use a lot is called Prospectus Choice. Prospectus Choice. And it used to have every corporation on there, how much money they give, who they give it to, and what are the requirements for getting it. And 90% of the information that was on Prospectus Choice was your needs statements, your goals, how much money are you looking for, an audit financial statement, and a copy of your 501c3. It was very simple. It wasn't even complicated. And you could be able to talk, and it told you who to talk to and where to go. So if you don't have this stuff put together the way it's supposed to, then get with us and give us a call at area code 310-337-1169. 310-337-1169. My name is Jerry Jones, and I am President and CEO of Mega International. And I want to be able to help you with what you're trying to do. But we want you to go after those corporations, funding foundation, private individuals, government, and state. And those people all have monies, and you could be on the phone for the next 11 years and you wouldn't be able to touch the surface of all the money that's out there. So I'm saying it's not the money, it's you and your application to go after getting it. So if you got your 501c3 and you got grant or your inquiry letter that you're sending off electronically and your grant that you're sending off electronically to the people that are needing to get this, they're going to give the money out anyway. And all you got to do is say to yourself, you're not getting it, and somebody's going to get it, so why not you? So why not apply? Why not go after it? You don't know what they're going to be able to do. But if your paperwork is intact and you got all the stuff that you need in there, they have a better chance of making sure that you get some of the funding. That's all that's necessary. Another thing that I want to bring forward is that because you don't have a 501c3 nonprofit status, it's not that complicated for you to get one and start your business. Set your dates out where if you call the Secretary of State and they say that it's 7 to 14 days before you can get your state papers back saying that you're incorporated in the state as a nonprofit corporation, then do that. And then the Franchise Tax Board, if it's another 7 days, and the IRS makes it retroactive from the time that the state approved you. Now let me explain that retroactive bit. If today I went and applied for my state papers, and let's say it's the 21st or the 22nd, and I went there and I got my state papers marked the 21st. When the IRS, you send your paperwork off to the IRS, and they take 2 months or 3 months to give you back that determination letter. It goes right back to the same date that the state approved it. So you're like an insurance policy. You're being covered even though you don't know that you're covered. So it doesn't matter how long the IRS takes. As long as they approve you, it's going right back to the same date that the state approved you. So those are things that you're not privy to, but you need to know that. So that's when the people say, well, how long is it going to take? Some people say it take a year, 2 years. Yeah, well, that's when you got a lot of questions, and a lot of the exempt specialists are asking more questions because you didn't do it right the first time. Anytime I see people's paperwork that's taking longer than 6 months or a year in order, it means that they had some discrepancies in their paperwork and it didn't get done, and they're having a problem. And we don't have a problem addressing problems. We do that every day. We work with the IRS, been working with them. I was trained by the IRS. So that's the reason I know what is expected, what is to be able to go back and get the information that I need in order to support your program. And we've been audited 67 times, and we've did over 8,000 501c3s and worked over $550 million in grants on an annual basis. So I'd like to be able to help you as much as we possibly can, but we can't help you if you don't call. Give us a call at area code 310-337-1169. 310-337-1169. My name is Jerry Jones, and I am President and CEO of Mega International. A few things that I had some concern about is that they were talking about how they go about looking up money for various programs that they were interested in, and it didn't show up, well, who the donors were. Well, if you go on, like if you were looking under Veterans Administration, look up under grants for Veterans Administration on your laptop to see exactly what type of grants are applicable for the Veterans Administration, what type of housing are available for grants for the homeless. Find out exactly what type of food programs are available for that. All that information is readily available. Now, once you know that the money is available for those particular applications, then you need to figure out what type of 501c3 you want to write in order to be able to make it applicable so you can get some of those grants as well as somebody else. But any information that you're not privy to and you don't know if it exists or not, take and go on the computer, type up what you need the information, and it'll come right up. Whether it be homeless, shelter, mentoring, after-school enrichment program, adult education, adult daycare, family, all of it's going to show right up. And all you got to do at that point is to figure out what your mission statement is going to be in the same similarity of what you want to do. And when you write up your mission statement and you come up with 5 people on your board of directors, and your board of directors should consist of president/CEO. Your president/CEO is going to be the person that starts the nonprofit. The second will be your CFO. That's the Chief Financial Officer. And that's the person that's in charge of working on the treasurer. The third person is your secretary. Your secretary is going to be the third person that's going to be on there. The fourth person that's going to be on there is your developmental officer. Now everybody says, what's a developmental officer? A developmental officer is the person that works on your staff or subcontracted from the outside to be able to go out to getting grants for your particular application. Whether you use somebody on the outside to go after grants for you, or you use somebody internally to go after grants for you. That's what a developmental officer is. It's a fundraising person that makes phone calls, sends out letters, follow up, and then send out more letters and talk to the various people on a daily basis. It's a full-time job. And a good developmental officer makes $80,000 a year. That's just the office itself. A good developmental officer makes $80,000 a year. Now you have the director, who is part of your organization. So you got 5 different offices that you have to make sure, a board of directors that has to be covered when you do the 501c3. President/CEO, that would be you. Chief Financial Officer, whoever that is. Secretary, whoever that is. Developmental Officer, whoever that is. Director, whoever that is. And all those people should have a different last name, because if they don't, and you come on there and you say, okay, I'm President and CEO. My wife is going to be the CFO. Now, if you're the president and CEO and your wife is a CFO, that means you and your wife are still on the same thing. Now, how do I know that your daughter is not the secretary? So they can't vote by proxy. So if you use the last name of more than 1-2 people on your board of directors, add more people as directors on your thing, because you can't control the board. So every time that you add, say if it's you and your wife or you and your daughter, add more. You can have up to 21 people on your board of directors, but you cannot control the board. So you just keep that in mind. So if you got you and your wife, and then the secretary and developmental officer and a director, then if it's you and your wife and your daughter's on the one that's secretary, that means the other people could never vote and win, because you already got 3-2. So you add more directors on your board. That way it keeps you out of harmony with the IRS and you're not controlling everything. So all I'm saying to you, these are things that you will learn. These are things that you will find out as you go on. And I always tell people about the 60-40 rule. If you are getting grant money and you bringing in money and they're giving you, let's say they gave you $100,000 on a grant, always use the 60-40 rule. 60% of the money to lessen the burden of government. Lessen the burden of government means that you're helping the people in the community. 40% for administrative services. So that means you don't give more to yourself than the people that you're trying to help. So the 60-40 rule keeps you out of harmony because they know that you got to have an office. They know you have to have a phone. They know you have to have staff working for you. So for every $100,000 worth of money you're getting, always look at it as a 60-40 rule and you'll keep yourself safe. That way you won't be audited by them or anything that's going to cause you a problem. Or they may audit you. It don't matter because you've done the right thing. 60-40. 60 to help the people out in the field, 40 for administrative services. And then that way you don't get yourself into a financial pickle where you're giving more to your organization than you do yourself and misappropriating funds. A lot of people go out there and they're so happy about getting the money, they don't help nobody. They do the money themselves, and next thing they know, they got the IRS knocking on their door talking about the funds that they've utilized to buy a new car, a new house, and all that stuff. It's not what it's meant to. It's meant to help lessen the burden of government in the community, but also start your business and to make your business work. There are other things that we need to talk about in terms of grants and stuff. So only thing I can say to you unequivocally is this. If you don't call, we can't help you. And we don't have all the answers, but we will be able to get the answers for you through the proper source or channels of people that have that information readily available. And I want to make sure that we go after these 501c3, whether you utilize our company or you utilize somebody else. You need to apply for that 501c3 as expeditiously as possible. Don't wait, because the administrative system is changing dramatically. And once you got the 501c3, it's for life. Area code is 310-337-1169. My name is Jerry Jones. I look forward to working with you, and I hope that I've been very instrumental and educational in terms of giving you information. There's a lot that I've learned in 17 years that I can't cram in 30 minutes over this television station, but there's information that we can work together, and maybe some of the past experiences that I have could be conducive to helping you with your information on doing your business. Another thing we wanted to bring in, if you don't have a 501c3, a 501c3 is a nonprofit corporation. You don't have a 501c3, we will be more than happy to help you to get that 501c3. We want to make sure we'll send you out the forms and documents that you're going to need. We'll need the name of your organization. We'll need your home address, city, state, and zip code. We'll need 5 people on your board of directors. And we'll need their name, their address, city, state, and no phone numbers. We'll need their name, address, city, state, and no phone numbers. And then we will turn around and take those 5 people that we talked about, president/CEO, CFO, secretary, developmental officer, and director. Now we got those 5 people on your board, and your mission statement should be no more than a paragraph. The specific purpose of this corporation is to help underprivileged women, children in the community in terms of food, helping them with being able to have clothing, or helping them with being able with scholarship program, and it should be right in that paragraph that you can be able to, no more than a paragraph, and we will add the diversity in the community to what you're already saying you're doing. And I look forward to working with you. I hope that this program has been very educational for you, and I feel that this has been something that is long overdue. We don't have all the answers, but I think if you start and you try to make it work for you, it's going to come out advantageous to you doing something constructive without having to go make a loan or try to borrow some money to get something started. And for all you people that's got felonies on you that don't know how to go out and they won't give you a job, get your nonprofit. Get your nonprofit. Get you a 501c3 and start up and start your life all over again and get some free donation to your organization and make it work for you. That's your second chance, because a lot of times you're going to go looking for a job. As long as you got that felony and it hasn't been expunged off your record, most people are not going to even hire you. But if you got a 501c3, you are in the position to have a corporation just like the next person out there. We should have been doing that a long time ago. So all I'm telling you is I feel sorry for a lot of folks that has made mistakes in the industry that has not been able to be rectified in terms of starting their life over. I mean, none of us are perfect. You know, Romans 3:23 said, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. But what I do feel that you can have a second chance at life by being able to take that 501c3, start your corporation and working it so you can help your own self and not working for somebody else. I really do. I think this is a great opportunity that we've been able to talk today. I hope that information that I've given you will lead you to more information that I have given you in terms of getting back to me so we can help each other. And I don't have all the answers, but I'll be more than happy to help you. And God bless you. And I hope that this program has been very educational. And I want to thank the sponsors here at OCN and all the other people that's been under the sound of my voice. I want to thank my staff and all the people that's worked with me, that's got me to this place in life. And I want to make sure that I acknowledge that this wouldn't have happened if God wouldn't have been able to put me in the position that I am. And I want to thank you, and God bless you. My name is Jerry Jones. 10-337-1169. Thank you.
OCN, Word of God to the World.